Hi, this is James Biden, the Assistant Commissioner of the Colonial States Athletic Conference. And during the 2021 academic year, we'll use our Friday feature to talk to several members of the CSAC family. This week, we interviewed St. Elizabeth University Athletic Director Tom Wagenblast to talk about his background, his new role as the Athletic Director, and what St. Elizabeth is doing in the age of COVID-19. So the first question, Tom, I want to ask you is, well, obviously, congratulations on being named Athletic Director. Tell me about some of the things that have been going on since you started as AD.
Yeah, so the timing of everything was different, obviously, because Julene announced her retirement, I guess, it must have been mid-July, maybe even a little bit before that, but she wasn't going to retire until August 1st. So I was able to kind of, shadow her for the last 2 weeks while she was on the job and kind of just really follow her around and learn and absorb as much as I can from her. And I already tried to do that for 5 years because she was such a good mentor to me and really everybody. She's so unique and really has an ability to connect with people like nothing I've ever seen before. So trying to pick up every little tidbit from her over those last 2 weeks, especially when I knew it was crunch time, was really valuable to me. So, we got back and Julene retired, and then the last 2 weeks or so we've just been trying to get ready for the students to show up. It all happened so quickly, and we were going to be mostly remote for the early part of the semester, and then the governor announced and allowed us to come back to campus. So it's been a scramble to try to get the kids back to campus, and we moved some in on last Saturday, and we're going to move a few more in this weekend. But to say it's been hectic is a severe understatement. It's never good when you introduce yourself to somebody and the first thing that you have to say as part of your new job is bad news, because that's kind of what happened. Is I got announced, or they decided that I was going to take over the position, and my first duty was to tell the fall student athletes that sports are canceled or postponed, unfortunately. So that wasn't always the best news to deliver, but we're plugging along. I'm really excited to have the position, and it's something I didn't think I wanted to do. And then over the last couple of years, my mind has changed as my life has changed as well. So it's been fun.
Talk about your background a little bit, Tom. Like, how did you end up at St. Elizabeth?
Yeah, so I was an assistant basketball coach at Kane University, probably only 15 minutes away from St. E's. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a basketball coach. So I was there for 8 years and made very little money working full time, just trying to do whatever I could to get into the business and to establish my career. I picked up and learned a ton from Kane. It was a great experience, and you're usually not at our level and coaching at a place part-time for 8 years. That usually doesn't happen. It only happens when you're in a really good situation. So for me, I was in a great situation. I learned under great athletic directors, and my boss, Rob Krasinski, at the time did a great job mentoring me. And then all of a sudden I'm searching, as everybody does in April, May, and June, and you're looking at what different jobs are open. And I saw an advertisement that St. Elizabeth was going to hire a men's basketball coach. And I was like, wait a minute, with St. Elizabeth, how in Morristown, New Jersey, is this a prep school? I mean, I was embarrassed that I did not know what St. Elizabeth was, but we were an all-women's school at the time, and I was lucky enough to get hired. I interviewed, I got hired, and my job was to help bring not only men's basketball players to the college, but at the time the college, but to bring men in general, and specifically male athletes. So worked really hard that first year to bring as many guys, both basketball players and general students and soccer players, so on and so forth, to the college. And we did a decent enough job of that to establish a and start building our male athletic programs here. And it was pretty exciting.
So now that you've taken over as AD, you obviously used to have your men's basketball duties, but now in the age of COVID-19, everything's different. As you said, fall sports are canceled. We're trying to work on a schedule for the winter and the spring to see what we can do for the student athletes. So what are some of the things that you're doing at St. Elizabeth, that St. Elizabeth is doing in general to help your student athletes in this time where, we're not playing competition sports, but they still want to try to compete?
Yeah. So I keep telling our coaches and our student athletes, we're meeting with them next week, virtually. But I keep telling everybody that at some point the NCAA is going to say, okay, you guys are good to go. You can practice again. I don't know if that's going to be tomorrow or if that's going to be a year from now, and I just keep telling everybody you have to be prepared. We have to be ready. So we're going about business as much as usual as we can. We're trying to get our kids physical when they come in here for athletic training purposes. We're trying to do everything we can compliance-wise because you don't want to be behind the 8 ball whenever we are allowed to start again. So, but what we are going to do with our, not just student athletes, but our entire student population here at St. Elizabeth is we're going to do various activities and social distance with masks on with our students here on campus. And that might be as simple as, hey, we're meeting on the soccer field tomorrow and we're going to play a kickball game, or we're going to do a 3-mile jog around campus, and our coaches will be involved, or at least our full-time coaches will be involved. I'll be involved. And I told them, I was like, let's get out there. I'll run. I'm a terrible runner, an absolutely terrible runner. But right now, if I got to go run 2.5 miles, I might need a ventilator, but I'll be okay. So, and honestly, that's to try to keep our kids physically fit, but it's more importantly to try to keep our kids mentally, healthy. It's not going to be fun. We all know that right now. This college is not going to be normal. We have a couple kids in the dorms, and they're already bored. You can just tell. So they're starving to do stuff. We're starving to do stuff. And once we get through all the kids are in a 2-week quarantine right now. And once we get through that, we're going to do something every day with them. And if they show up, they show up. And if they don't show up, that's okay too. Nothing's going to be remotely mandatory. So we're just trying to give them something and more importantly, some hope, that we are at some point going to get back to playing. It's just a matter of when, not if. So hopefully that's sooner rather than later.